What good is a song if the words don't belong? And a dream must be a dream for two. No good alone, to each his own. For me there's you. If
Playing that overnight music right now, guys, on Facebook, if you could hear me. It's too mellow. I like that old music, but, you know. Trying to get the show set up. Good morning, everybody. If you're on Facebook, getting ready to start the show right now. And here we go. And this happens to me every single time.
Time to pour the coffee with Bill. Wants to be human. Time to rise and shine with Bill.
He has all the ingredients for disaster.
Time to get going with Bill.
He's phenomenal.
Welcome to Baker Street with your host, Bill Baker.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Baker Street. I'm Bill Baker, your host, and glad to be here this morning. Man, it's an interesting weekend, I got to tell you that. If you watched the Academy Awards last night, yeah, you know there's some exciting stuff that's going on out there, and yeah, Will Smith, I guess he left some fresh prints on Chris Rock this morning, don't you think? Okay, I thought that was good. Come on. Fresh Prince, I tell you. I've never seen anything like that. I'm wondering if it was staged. I wish Jameson Rabbit were here because he and I, we could talk about this. Being the movie guru that he is, the movie extraordinaire, it'd be great to talk with Jameson and find out exactly what he thinks about this whole thing. I know, right? But it could have been staged. I don't know. Hey, this morning we got an interesting show. We're going to talk about the upcoming elections. I got to get you out there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Coffee with a Cop. We're going to talk about, hey, spring sports are starting. Baseball and softball. We're also going to talk about my fitness journey. If you remember back, if you listen to me routinely, which I know a lot of you do, back in January, started this journey, and Kraig Kuchenbecker is my coach, my guidance, my fitness person from Prairie Atheletic Club. He's going to stop in the second hour. We're going to get an update on what's going on, and let me tell you right now, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, and just having a good show today. Looking for your input on Facebook. It'd be great. You're listening to 103.5 WLSP, The Sun, right here in beautiful Sun Prairie. We're recording at the Sun Prairie Media Center studios. We're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie and, of course, the Baker Realty Group. Glad to be here. Pretty much a laid-back weekend. Did some shopping. Had to go up to the outlets. I don't know why, but had to do that. And it was just, we've been on an interesting journey this last 7 days. I'm going to talk about that in a while, but and it's called detox. And I'm not talking about alcohol, but There is no alcohol during a detox, but it's been an interesting journey. Ping that alerted me to the start of your show. Stop. What to turn that back? I don't know, Whit. Did you turn it back on? Whitney McMahon, better known as Whit in my world, from my high school days. She's watching the show on Facebook and Facebook Live, which you can be doing right now. We are everywhere. We're streaming. We're on the radio. You can take us with you on the app. You can go to Facebook Live and watch us on the Media Center Facebook page, the Bill Baker Facebook page, and interact as you like. The phone number, 608-825-0930. You're welcome to give me a call. We can chat about anything you want. And then, or just throw me a message in Facebook Messenger. The last few weeks we've been doing all the candidates for the elections and that, so we are going to talk about that a little bit. And, let's see if we can get caught up on things. Don't forget that tonight is Sunshine Supper, and yes, Diane Donahue, I will be there. Team Chips is in the house, and we'll be doing our thing. Kirk Smith, good morning to you. All the way from Washington, I think that's where you guys are living. So why don't we do this? Why don't we just go ahead and get this show started, get things rocking, and as we do for every show, we start out and since it's spring, this is so perfect. Guy yesterday up at Tanger Outlet, he and I were talking about this. He's like, well, fishing's almost ready. I mean, northerns are biting. And I'm like, oh, yeah, northerns are biting. I said, I live down in Madison. I don't know if northerns bite or not. He goes, oh, yeah, they got great northerns down there. A lot of fish in Lake Mendota. I'm like, oh, okay. So let's go fishing right here on 103.5 WLSP, The Sun. Good morning, everybody. Get up, get out of bed. Hey, Facebook, good morning, everybody. Glad that you're on. Glad you're here. Oh, my gosh. Don't know what to do. I got to go find a newspaper and look and see what our subjects are going to be today. What do you think? Man, that whole thing with the Oscars, we're going to talk about the Oscars. I know, I got to write that down. Talk about the Oscars. I don't even know why we do it anymore. Oscars are boring. Hey, Val, good morning. Hi, hon. All right, be right back. I gotta grab the paper. Oh my God. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. There we go. As you know, Facebook, you can't hear the music. And I do apologize for that. The reason for that is that Facebook will knock me off. They will mute me, take the show down. I've done it 100 times in over 7 years, I guess it is, maybe 5-7 years. And I have to fight with disputes every time and challenge them, and I always get them back. But for some reason, they don't recognize us as a studio. Yeah, I know, right? I think that's whacked, but what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. So we live with it, have to follow their rules, Big Brother rules and all that stuff. And yeah, but the music's good. I think if you want to listen to it, you can stream the show by going to the sunprairiemediacenter.com and hit stream on the radio, and you'll hear all the music. Dwayne Sprecher, my buddy, good morning. Man, I sure miss you. I will have to get over there. One of my old coaches, Doug Johnson. Now, Doug was my 8th grade football coach, 7th and 8th grade football coach. He's a great coach, absolutely amazing coach. English teacher in junior high. He and I have been chatting back and forth on online, and he wants to buy me lunch, buy me dinner, whatever. He and Jim Beck, two absolutely phenomenal teachers and coaches. And it's I think I'll talk about that too. That'll be a fun subject to talk about on the radio. Dwayne, how are you this morning? Diana McFarland, good morning, dear. Almost school board member. She's currently a candidate. Hey, Sue Ann, how are you? Good to see you guys. Man, I love it when you guys are on Facebook, checking in and all that. It's a good day. So what'd you guys do this weekend? Doug Jennings. Oh my God, Whit, you are so right. And thanks for saying that, because it is Doug Jennings. Hey, Whit, he reached out to me this weekend, and Doug wanted to. He wants to get together. I think he thinks I live in Michigan, but I told him I live in Madison. But because of my buddy Dwayne, I'm going to get over there again. I may see if I can get over there in maybe May or something like that. And that'd be fun to get together with everybody. Whitney, you should plan a trip like about the same time. Patty Hall, good morning. Man, I got all these Dundee people or Michigan people reaching out to this morning. Nice job, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, I did. Doug. There's a buddy of mine down in La Crosse, and his name is Doug Johnson, and so that's where I get it. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? He was a good teacher, Whit. Good teacher, good coach. Did you ever have him as a coach for anything? I only remember him coaching football, junior high football. But did he coach anything else? Well, Dwayne, you get those butter burgers up and going, buddy. Get that restaurant in order. For my Facebook friends that are in Michigan, Dwayne Sprecher, okay, one is Bellevue or Belleville or something like that. And you've got, the other one is in Livonia. Is that right, Dwayne? He's got 2 culvers that he's redoing. Yeah. Remember how fast Jim Beck was running? But you got to remember, they were in their 20s when they were teaching us. Think about that. I always thought they were older. Alex Mahoney talking about culvers as you click on. Good to see ya. Thanks for being on the show. Hey, Alex, which? Oh, Taylor. That's it. Taylor and Belleville is where Dwayne is, buddy. You'll get those straightened out. We gotta introduce them to a little bit of Wisconsin. Teach them that Wisconsin stuff. Right? Good morning to you, Alex. We still are. Oh my God. I can't think of one of the teachers that showed up at our class reunion, but I didn't have him as a teacher. Wall or something like that, or I don't remember. I can't remember. That's almost 3 years ago. Holy crap. You know? Class reunions. Class reunions are fun. I think they're fun. I make them fun, but hey, Alex, Alex Mahoney, is there a share night tonight? Oh, Mr. Waugh? Yeah. When did he die? No. Yeah, well, you won't be putting them together, but will you be there, Whit? 2 years ago. Yeah. Here we go. Man, you gotta love me some Journey in the morning. Hey, good morning, everybody. Bill Baker here for Good Morning Sun Prairie. Glad that you could join me. More music this morning because we don't have the candidates this week. It's the first Monday I haven't had a candidate in the studio, but you're welcome to chat with me as much as you like. We are on Facebook Live right now, so if you want to go in there, you can go into the message area, which a lot of people are. Alex Mahoney, Dwayne Sprecher, a lot of my friends from my high school days are on right now, and that's always fun to me. I mean, when you stay connected to people like that, it's absolutely it warms your heart up, you know. You know, I was talking about the candidates. I've had District 4. We've had Russ Weed and David Virgil on, and I've also had all of the school board members on the radio. Also had our county supervisor, Brenda Yang. She was on and visiting, but. Here's what I want to talk about, a little bit about this election, things that are going on. And let me start out like this. So I was reading in the Sun Prairie Star, and for those people that aren't from Sun Prairie, that's our local newspaper, great newspaper. A buddy of mine, Chris Murtis, is the managing editor of that paper. But in the history section, they have like 10 years ago, 25 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years, you know. I found an excerpt in there, and from 50 years ago, March 30th, 1972. Wow, 1972. Oh my God. Here's what it said. 400 people came to the school board meeting on Monday night. The majority were apparently opposed to curriculum cuts. Now, why am I bringing that up? Why am I talking about a blurb like that? Well, there's a couple of things. One is 400 people showed up. 400 people showed up. And then the second part of it is the curriculum change and the curriculum cuts that they were doing. Now, I have no idea what those cuts were. I have no idea at all what's going on with that. But what's surprising to me is the change in the way our community interacts. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit. So let's do this. So do you remember? I don't know. What was it, in the fall or whatever? We had a group of ladies, a group of people. I was corrected by that. I was actually spanked because I used the word ladies. What did they want me to do? Call them something else? Maybe the B. I don't know. But it was a group of people that they wanted to take the school board positions and make them districts. They wanted them to align with the districts that we have. They felt there'd be better representation that way. And I love the idea because it's a fresh idea. I love the thought process. I love the idea that a group of people got together and said, hey, we think this might make our school district better or our school board better. And then they presented it to the city and to the voters, and they presented it to the school board at the the annual meeting, something like that. But the turnout wasn't very good. There might have been 50 people there, let's say 100 people there for that issue. And so it didn't pass. I mean, it's lost by a landslide. Nobody wants that. I don't think it's a good idea anyway. It needs to be at large. And the reason being is you don't want one school board member fighting for this school and another school board member fighting for this school. You want it to be at large so it's equal. We're talking about equity all the time. Well, it's got to be in an equitable fashion, and being at large creates that equitable and the equity that we need in our schools. So, but the low turnout is what blew me away. And even during the and here's what one of the sponsors of that notion, that item, that thing that came up to the school board was that they said they must not have done a good job of getting the word out. Okay. Yeah, really? Yeah, okay. All right, maybe. But school board meetings have always been held at the same time, all the time. They're pre-announced. The agendas are announced. They know what's on there. So if people felt that that was an issue that they felt was important, that they would have come out and supported. But obviously it did not. They did not feel that way. And I thought they got a lot of press. I thought they got a lot of information. That just didn't fly. But here's the thing is, what I'm finding and what I've found through this election process is that you're not interested in it. Sun Prairie, you're not attending these forums. You're not attending Spark. You're not attending anything where the debates are. The Spark forum was a debate with time limits. Each candidate was given the questions beforehand, which, I like that. I mean, that way you can be better prepared and you can come across a little bit clearer, things like that. But you didn't show up to that. You didn't show up. And is that because you don't care? Is it because you don't feel that there is a need? Is that because that you feel that your word just doesn't matter? Or that what you say, it doesn't get heard? Now, a lot of the candidates for school board are saying that they want to improve the communications with the community. They want to talk to you. They want you involved in the process. And how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Do you want to be more involved in what the school board sets as the vision of the school district? And you got to remember, not everybody's going to be happy with everything. You know? They're not, but I think your word does matter. And I know that we have good school board members currently. I mean, we have some that are stepping off. Dave Huckster is a buddy of mine. He's not running for re-election. I want to thank him for what he's doing. Karen Dietrich also, nicely done. But they hear you. They hear you. And I want to get that notion out of everybody's head that it just doesn't matter. Now, on a national side of this, national politics, man, I don't know. But I think the good candidates, the good politicians, they do hear you. They do listen to you. Gary Hebel, he listens to you, right? I know he does. He listens to me. Stop by anytime. How about that? That's an open door. There's not too many legislators that will say, yeah, Bill, come on by. Yeah, I'll be at my office on Friday. Stop on by. Awesome. But we have, if you want, this whole thing has become so polarized too. The hate mongering really kills me. I saw it. Now, and how can I talk about this? I experienced this when I ran for city council. The hate mongers. Oh my God, you are so brave behind Facebook and social media. But you would never say anything to anybody's face. You're cowards. Freaking cowards. Johnny Danger, welcome to the show, buddy. He could tell you about this too. He understands it. He knows it. But the thing that you have to remember, if you want things to be different, everybody talks about a change, right? But if you want that change, you have to be the one that steps up to make that happen. So you've got all these candidates running. You've got five candidates. 4 of them are brand new. They want to see something different in our school district, or they want something to be controlled better, or a better guidance, or better input. And you got to give them credit, man. I mean, they are stepping up for, and they're going to get arrows in their back. They already are. Just because they feel that our school district either needs a little help, needs support, some fresh ideas, fiscally a fiscal overview, they're there. But the thing is, they're stepping forward. They raised their hand. They went out. They got their signatures. They're in front of you. Some of these people, they're not used to speaking in front of people. They're not used to being there in front of the angry crowd. How's that sound? The angry crowd. And it has been angry. It has been. I mean, if you go on Facebook, you look at things, especially the political pages. Here's what irritates the crap out of me, and we got to stop this. And only you and I are the ones to stop this. You know, the politics have become so polarized. Republican, Democrat, I don't care what you are. But it is the Democrats and Republicans. So polarized that it's my team or your team, and that's it. And it's stupid. And that's the word you got to use. You know, my mother used to say, don't use that word. That's not a nice word. It's not a nice word. But when you deal with blowhards and fire starters, you have to use those words. You can't be that polarized. We need to come together. Now, I used to get crap. I mean, I would define myself or label myself. How about it? I'm more conservative than anything. I'm fiscally conservative. I agree with that. People like to call me a Trumpster. I don't know why. But I think of things conservatively. I don't want to see more government. I want to see less government. We are the people. I mean, we don't need government interference all the time. And they do interfere. Look at the tax laws, for God's sakes. Oh my gosh. But that's my way of doing that. It doesn't make me a bad person. But then there are other people that believe that government should be involved. Government should be giving us everything. Government should be doing this and that, right? But there is a middle ground. There is a time and place. Bill Conner, he's the biggest blowhard. He is. Now listen to my words on this, and listen to me carefully on this. The man, he is a fire starter. He's got his Facebook page. Sun Prairie politics and all that stuff, and he will put fuel in the fire. He started a fire recently because of the candidates out on the west side. Russ Weed was out there. He's got a huge sign along with Stephen Elmer, and they were allowed to put these signs up on a property. They asked the property owner, and bam, he had this big sign out there. So Bill wanted to start fires about that. Well, is that legal? And is the signs legal? And well, he is a conservative, and I'm not quoting right now. But here's what I'm going to say about the fire starting. Stop it! Talk about the facts. Talk about the issues that's in front of us. I'm okay with disagreeing on the issues. I'm okay with having those heavy conversations with the issues. Now, I'm talking about Bill Connors. But I tell you what, if Bill Connors was in this room, I would definitely shake him, give him a hug. The man loves Sun Prairie. When he was my city councilman, I supported him in the battles that he had. I didn't like people attacking my city council. I didn't like people attacking Teresa Stevens. Bob Yokish, they can attack. Really, they don't attack him because he doesn't say anything. But Bill Connors gets out there, and at least he's out in front, and he is bringing attention to things and issues in Sun Prairie on a daily basis. And I appreciate that, and I respect that, and I like that. Do I agree with him? Not always, but there are some things that I do agree with. But what I appreciate from him is that he is involved. He's connected, man. But let's stop the fire starting. Let's calm it down. Let's get this party crap out. Progressive Dane, go away. Just the sides. You have to go away. Let the candidates run. Stop fire starting. That's how we keep more people involved. That's how you get 400 people to a school board meeting. Wouldn't it be great to go back 50 years and go to a school board meeting and they're hanging out in the hallways because the room's not big enough? I think so. We got some great candidates. I have my choices, and that I'm going to be voting for, and Steve Schrader is one of them. And here's people, and I've had some friends roll my eyes, and they're like, well, he's liberal. And I'm like, yes, he is a liberal, but he's the best man for the job. He's done a fantastic job as president of the school board, and he's going to be there again. And I'm giving him as an example because of showing you that I may be conservative in my thoughts, but the man, and he's a liberal, he's a Democrat, and I'm supporting him even though it's non-party oriented, right? I'm just showing you two views there, but I know the man can run our school board. I know that and appreciate that he and the other board members found 4.7% increase for our teachers, helping write the equity manuals and starting that. And you've got other great candidates too. So look at it. Don't get hung up on party. Don't get hung up on party. Please don't get hung up on party. Let's vote for the person that you believe can get things done, not just a feel good. Let's vote for those people that can work with the other school board members to get things done. City Council, are they going to have a positive voice? Are they going to be able to interact with other council members? Are they going to be able to negotiate? Are they going to be able to convince other council members about their position? Are they going to be able to receive different thoughts and views and work together with the other individuals? That's the questions. That's the questions. Do they have the talent to interact like that? Do they have the experience? We got to look at cost. We got to control our cost in the city. We do. Do we have those people that can do that? Do we have those people that can do that? So I just wanted to share that a little bit. And my whole comment here is that I want you out on April 5th. I want you to go out and vote. I want you to either go now and vote, do what you have to do to get your vote in there. The spring ballots, the spring election is the lowest turnout of all the elections. And I'd love to see us change that. Sunbury, get out there and vote. It's your community. Even if you don't have a kid in the school district, it's important to you. It involves our tax base. Now the school board, it was less this year. They actually got us a cut, right? But your involvement is what matters, and don't forget that. If you don't have a kid in school, that's okay. Those tax dollars are going to be on your property taxes. And if you're not a homeowner, it still affects you. It still affects the rent that you're paying. Believe me, the property taxes and that are passed on to you. And if you don't think that, wake up, because it is. You don't get anything for free. You can breathe air for free. That's about it. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. This election process. What's cool to me is that I've been able to sit with every one of them. I've attended the Spark Forum to listen to each one of them. I went to the broadcast for K-Sun with Chris Murtis and Don Hoosier, Talk of the Town. Listened to it there. I've listened and read other things about the candidates and what they're doing. Even though Russ Weed and David Virgil are not in my area, I've been watching those guys, and because I want to know, because this is my city also. I love this town. Sun Prairie is the greatest place to live in the entire world. We have phenomenal schools. We have a city that is so accessible and available to everything from Prairie Lakes to our downtown area. Don't forget our downtown area. Our downtown area is frickin' awesome, guys. And so, don't forget to visit down there. Our government is approachable. Starting with our mayor, Paul Esser. You may not like Paul as a mayor. You may like Paul as a mayor. As an individual, he's a good guy. I enjoy Paul. Absolutely. And we'll always go across the room to shake his hand to say thank you for raising your hand and running for that position, because he's run unopposed the last 2 times, because nobody wants that job. Why? Because you don't get heard, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they don't get heard unless you're there and you're involved. Steve Stalker, same thing. Stalker is our city council president. He listens to you. He listens to you. Even our city administrator, Aaron Oppenheimer, he's staff. But you can call Aaron, and Aaron will return your call. Our city government is there and involved. That's what makes this town so great. So Sunbury, please, please, please reach out to your people. Learn who they are. Who are your city council people? Get to know them. Just say hi to them. Do you go to church with them? Do you work with them? Do you see them at events? Get to know them. They like your comments. They like your emails. They like your phone calls. They want to hear from you. Now, and that doesn't always mean bitch sessions, okay? Or sidewalks. It's okay to have something that you don't like, or that you're upset about. It's how you phrase it to them. It's how you talk to them that gets things done. It does. It does. Teresa Stevens, I love this woman, okay? And let me tell you why I use the word I love this woman. She is approachable. She's my city council person for about another 2 weeks or so. Oh, more than that. The swearing in and all that has to happen. But she has been actively involved in our community. And as a city council person, she will listen to you. She will follow up with you. And then things have happened because of conversations with her. I also would do things to help her, giving her housing statistics, letting her know what's going on out in that community. And I appreciate that. And that's the way our city council people are. Maureen Crombie, same thing. She's out there. Terry McElroy, absolutely approachable. Good people. Good people. And like I said, you're not always going to, they're going to listen to you, and they're going to support their constituents, but sometimes what the constituents want is not what's best for the community. Did I just say that? And all I have to use is one word: apartments. And that sends the hair on the back of most people's necks standing up. But there's the wrong message about apartments is why. So there you go. That's my 2 cents about the elections that are coming up. Next week I will be talking a little bit more about the elections because April 5th's coming up, folks. I love the elections because it's right after April Fool's Day. But anyway, here you go. Let's go back to some music, and we'll reset the show a little bit more. Don't forget, you're listening to 103.5 WLSP, The Sun, right here in Sun Prairie. In the 8 o'clock hour, Kraig Kuchenbecker comes in. He's going to talk to us about good health, good nutrition, and what you can do as an individual to get things started. And it just starts with a few things. And I'm going to tell you this. January, I could, those incline boards or whatever, when you're doing sit-ups, I could barely do one. And today, I'm using a 25-pound plate and doing sit-ups. So it starts with one. But let's do this. How about little Doobie Brothers right here on 103.5 WLSP? Good morning, everybody. Wake up, get some coffee, and get out of bed. Woo! Okay. So there you go. There's my Politics 101 today. Did I do okay, Sun Prairie? Hey, Facebook, was that all right? Good morning, Mary Losted. Diana, did I do okay? I'm getting thumbs up. All right, cool. Whoa! You know, what's interesting is that, oh, thanks, Diana. What's interesting is that the nasties of politics have turned people away. All of a sudden you say politics and they roll their eyes and their stomach becomes upset because they just don't want to be a part of it. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. It's been that way. And Facebook, for me, on here, especially the school board, it's about the kids and the teachers. Yeah, it's about the kids and the teachers. And look for that candidate. To me, you look for those candidates that lead with the kids. And they're specific about the kids. That's who's going to be a good school board member. And then also, it's the teachers. It's the teachers. Because we've got to take care of our teachers. If we don't, we're not going to have them. They're leaving in droves right now. And the numbers aren't coming in. They're not. kids don't want to be teachers anymore. Teachers are retiring, and early, just to get away from the kids. It's not always the administration. It's been the behavior of the kids. Eva, good morning. How are you? Eva Allen, miss you guys. Hope you're doing well up in the North Country. I agree with you, Whitney. I agree. What do you think, Whitney? What do you think? Should we take the party structure away? Here's the thing. Even if we took the party structure away, I think that there would still be sides. We'd figure out a way to label politics. You know what I mean? Charlie, good morning. Thanks, buddy. Hey, Charlie Kuntz. By the way, Facebook people, that is the greatest painter in the whole wide world and one of my lion brothers. And also, he wore the uniform. And thank you, Charlie. Just want to say, Charlie, I want to say thank you for helping Mark. He thought the job you did was fantastic. Your efforts helped get his house sold way over asking because it showed great, and I appreciate it so much. And thank you. Oh, I gotta set up a headphone. I'm still here, people. Yeah, I know. There's always an us versus them. All right, I'm back. So yeah, I think it's, Whitney, you're right. It's always us versus them mentality, and it's human nature. And that's where my way or the highway, right? My way or the highway. Don't know how you fix that. Don't know how you repair that. I think, first of all, it starts out with manners. I think it starts out with respect. I think it starts out with regard for the other person. I tried to set that example in my campaign when with Bob Yokish. There was no way I was going to attack the man because I appreciated what he had done. I mean, he was appointed. He was not elected the first time. And there just wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to stoop to that level. You know, so, but. The nasties, I call them the nasties. We'll do one more song. Absolutely. Diana, and thank you for that comment. That is correct. But you know what? and I'm going to say this on air also, is that I love the phrase, stay in curiosity and seek to understand. A business coach taught me that, man, 17, almost 18 years ago. Stay in curiosity, seek to understand. Seek, I mean, you can even say seek first to understand. I know, right? Yeah, well, how about the, yeah, it's everywhere. County and, yeah, national. Hey, Tina, good morning. Glad to see you, Tina. Thanks for joining. Tina, you still in Madison, or are you in like Seattle or someplace? James Weingard, how are you, buddy? All right, here we go. Woo! I love that song. That is absolutely amazing. The Way We Move. Oh yeah, Longhorn Slim. Hey, Bill Baker here, and good morning, Sun Prairie. Glad that you've joined me. We're having a conversation off air because I have everybody on Facebook Live chatting away this morning. We're talking about politics, and you know. Here's what I want to say to our politicians and to you people out there that like to be fire starters and stuff. I was just saying this. Somebody taught me this a long time ago, and a business coach taught me this. And it was stay in curiosity. Seek first to understand. Seek to understand. And then comment about it. Find out, what's going on. What's behind that message. And I think that's what it is about politics. But it's become so nasty at times. I mean, from the national level and all that, and I don't care who you are, Democrat, Republican, it's just nasty. Nasty. But, yeah, it's just terrible. Hey, I got to tell you about something. We're talking about school boards and all that. I want to talk about schools for a second. I'm really proud this morning on Facebook Live. I've got a lot of people from my old stomping grounds over in Dundee, Michigan. A lot of people I went to school with or have checked on, or they always do. They follow me. They follow the show, this show and my real estate show, and I really appreciate it. Brian Coiler, good morning. Just he was with Brian down in Jacksonville, Florida, getting my son married away. Got him out of the basement finally. But we're talking about schools, and I don't know about you, but I have teachers in my life that have stayed in my life, and I think that is so cool. Just recently, this weekend, I was talking about this earlier, one of my teachers, one of my coaches, my junior high football coaches, Doug Jennings, reached out to me just to say hi, and he said, hey, when you're in the area and you have time, he says, I'd love to buy you lunch. And I'm like, whoa! 8th grade teacher. Now, I've been out of school 40-some years, right? 43 years. And I'm just so impressed with this. And then he says in another email, he says, hey, depending on when you're in town, if Jim Beck is in town, let's all three get together. I'm like, what? And my first thing is, why me? Well, I know I'm on his paddle. I know my name is on there. Yes, I got a SWAT from Coach Jennings. He had holes drilled through his paddle. That was the coolest thing. It's like turbocharged paddles. Yes, back in the 70s, we got paddled. Big wooden ones. But, yeah, I mean, that's what it is, right? Teachers, how they influence our lives, right? I know you have them. And if you're on Facebook right now, share it with me. Tell me, who was the most influential teacher for you? Now, Gene Stock was one for me. He started me in business. The way we did a business class in high school was absolutely amazing. Tom Williams, who was my swim coach also, really got me into reading and English and that. One of the first books I ever read was MASH. Yeah, and you know, when you do your book reports, you should actually know what MASH stands for. He looked at me and he's like, Baker, did you really read this? I said, yes, sir. Here, quiz me on it. He says, what's MASH stand for? I said, it's a book. What does the letters MASH stand for? That's my swim coach too in high school. But the coaches, they have input, man, and Doug Jennings was one of them. In college too, I had another teacher, Tom Williams, in college. That was my marketing professor. I had a marketing class. And I actually did a paper on how college is a business. And he thought it was the coolest thing. He'd never had anybody write a paper like that. And how the marketing involved with college as a business. And but you have these people in your life. And that's what school's all about, people. Mrs. Kilby for my son. Mrs. Kilby for Alex. Kindergarten teacher. And if anybody in Sun Prairie is listening right now, they know Mrs. Kilby. Regina, I think was her first. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Mrs. Kilby. Mrs. Kilby was Mrs. Doubtfire. Before Mrs. Doubtfire. And so it was just really cool. She would write handwritten notes that the kids brought home every single day. And she had like 20-some kids in that class. Maybe she did it during note time. I don't know. James Weingart says, Bill Johnson at UW Whitewater. Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. Mrs. Kilby, though, I mean, you know what she did? I love this, and I've used this example so many times. And even in some real estate training, what I did was Mrs. Kilby took one of those big exercise balls. You know what I'm talking about? And she wrote can't all over it. You know, the word can't, C-A-N-T, right? And what she did is she kicked can't out of the school, out of her class. She let the kids kick can't out of their class because they can't do something. I know, that's hilarious, right? Mr. Borgstead was a great class. Yes, Mr. Kramer. I had Kramer in 6th grade. Mr. Gorley in band, right? This is Wendy McMahon, one of my people, talking. It's all good. Teachers have input. They do. And they have a place in our heart, and I think that's awesome. So there you go. Let's go back to the show. Then we'll reset it, and then I believe Craig's here, and so we'll get him set up, and then we'll reset the show, and you'll learn about my journey. And one day there's going to be pictures. I know. No, I've got clothes on, everybody. Don't worry about it. How about this? Let's go back and do I Can't Stop Smiling right here on 103.5 WLSP. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Kraig.
Yo.
Come on in, bud.
How did you know I was here?
I saw you walk through.
Oh.
I saw your shadow. Go ahead, you're over that corner.
Okay.
I can get you set up.
This one, right?
Yeah. Man, we get to eat real food.
I'm doing another week, so.
You're going to do 2 weeks? Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, you're amazing.
Or stupid, I don't know.
You're not stupid. Let me figure out which one I want. Person. There we go. Oh, I don't want that one. Yeah. Down here, I'll put it somewhere. You're good.
Okay.
I like these other setup.
Colder than it seems out. It's like deceiving. The sun was out. I'm like, oh, it'll be nice. And I walked out. I'm like, I better go get a jacket. It's cold.
Perfect. Look at you. You're on Facebook Live.
Okay. Hi, Facebook.
Yeah, they'll love you, I tell you. I'll put you up there too. I'll share it to your page.
Okay.
No blue Speedo. Oh, thanks, Whitney. I was talking about I have before pictures. I'll do after pictures too.
Yeah.
And she's coming in going, no Speedos, please.
Did your before picture? That wasn't in a Speedo, was it?
No, it's in a pair of black shorts. We got time there.
Okay. I don't know if I need that for anything in particular. Is it just so that I can hear you, or?
You can hear me better,
Oh.
but you don't have to wear them if you don't want to. I will. There you are. Can't hear music because Facebook will shut me down.
Oh, yeah. If you have any copyrighted music in the background.
Yeah, but we're a radio station.
No,
We have the rights for it.
They get to make their own rules, though. So.
Yeah, they're the big guys, right? Your phone will probably beep now. It's on your Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been good. We had the detox soup for dinner last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good.
We put quinoa in it and mixed that with it. And I think we had the last of it. Maybe.
Last night. And have you eaten anything other than the vegetables and quinoa and all that?
No.
So today will be what'd you have for breakfast? Your usual?
Grapefruit, water, and then I've got chamomile. Well, I've got regular tea, chamomile tea, and that turmeric and ginger,
Oh,
all mixed together.
okay.
And then I'll go back, and then I've got my morning oats and all that. I'll eat that when I get back.
Okay.
And
So interesting thing will be how your body responds once you start incorporating some of that back. So like pay attention to some of those cues. Like
Yeah.
do you all of a sudden feel bloated and
Right.
gassy again? Do you feel lethargic after you eat it? These are good signs that your body's telling you that something that you had been eating isn't agreeing with you that
yeah,
much.
you can pull. It won't hurt.
It won't hurt
Keep-
it?
No, keep pulling.
There we go.
We'll go on after the song. Hey Claudette, good morning. Yeah, this morning I had a little bit of a stomach ache. I don't know why. After eating the grapefruit. Don't know. Never had that before. Felt a little bloated, but that went away. But I'm wearing pants I haven't worn in over 2 years now.
Good.
I don't think it's not the detox. It's a combination.
Yeah,
of
your
everything.
detox, a week of that isn't going to just
No.
miraculously change. It was just one of those things you had mentioned, the bloating, the gas,
Right.
just all of that going on, and this is a good way to kind of reset that digestive system and just
Sure.
reintroduce some foods that may have been causing some of that.
And I enjoyed eating that way, to be honest with you. The quinoa and the vegetables together, that was awesome.
Yeah, and it's actually surprisingly how much it will fill you up.
Right.
And like we had mentioned before, Terry wants to do kind of that Mediterranean style, and it's very, very similar. I mean, you just eat that way and add some fish and add some shrimp and add some olives and stuff like that, and a little more olive oil, and you're pretty much eating Mediterranean then.
Sure.
A lot of good, colorful vegetables and some good fat.
And the drinks, all whatever it is.
Yeah, those are really good.
Expensive.
Those were the best. Yeah, they weren't cheap.
No.
But good food's not going to be cheap.
No. Actually, it was cheaper to buy all that, to do the way we did, than it was regular recipes or meal planning.
Right.
If you think about it, I mean, and Terry was saying that.
Well, yeah, because you don't have any meat. Meat's not cheap.
Right.
So, yeah, good vegetables aren't cheap, but good meat's not cheap either.
Right. All right.
Not right now, anyway.
So we got about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then I'll come out, and then I gotta read some stuff, and reset the show, and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
Oh, we got to have a little bit of Van Halen anywhere you go, right? Oh, man, that slipped in there. How'd that happen? I'll save that song for later. Hey, good morning, Sun Prairie. Glad to have you. Let's get kick-started, and let's get Lisa. Where is she? This is my former producer.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sun Prairie, and welcome to Baker Street.
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do.
This calls for the old Billy Baroo.
Time to rise and shine. Now here's your host, Bill Baker.
Hey, thanks, Lisa. Love me some Lisa. Man, I miss her. She's got to come back and do a show with me. Hey, good morning, everybody. You're listening to Good Morning Sun Prairie, and you're on 103.5 WLSP, The Sun. Hey, check this out. Got some things you need to know about. Don't forget, it is Monday. What happens on Monday? Sunshine Suppers. We're going to start tonight at 5 o'clock. Get there early. 4:30 is kind of cool. Tonight, the Knights of Columbus will be sponsoring the meal, and it's goulash. Craig, I will not be eating that. I have in the past. I won't be eating that tonight. But come on by and stop by. Come one, come all, and be there for Sunshine Supper. Hey, today, 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock is Coffee with a Cop at Beans and Cream Coffee House down at Cannery Square in downtown Sun Prairie. Come down and visit with a cop and have an opportunity to chat with Mike Steffes, Chief Mike Steffes, and all the guys that are there. Friday night, I know it's Monday, but we're already talking about Friday. Fish fries. Support the Sun Prairie Youth Bowling teams this Friday during the Knights of Columbus Fish Fry from 5 to 8 p.m. on Friday, April 1st at the Round Table located at 1611 North Bristol Street. Cost is $13 per adult, $6 per kiddo, and the servings include 3 pieces of fried or baked cod. You get some chicken tenders or 6 shrimp, coleslaw, baked beans, and french fries, or a baked potato. Man, they got everything. Just come on by and get it and tell them what you want. That's good eating.
Yeah.
It's fried,
good
though.
Wisconsin food right
It's
there.
fried. I know, but it's
Goulash
fried.
and fish fries.
It's fried. You're killing me over there. Spring Fling Craft and Vendor Fair. This 6th annual event featuring more than 70 participating vendors raises money for Occupaw's Guide Dog Association from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, April 3rd at Prairie View Middle School located on Thompson Street. Of course, you know where Prairie View is. On the west side, see Occupaw's Guide Dog Facebook page for more details. From dawn to dusk, the Sun Prairie Area Chorus presents its annual spring concert from 3 to 4 p.m. on Sunday, April 3rd in the Performing Arts Center at Cardinal Heights Upper Middle School located on Cronky Drive. Admission is free. See the Sun Prairie Area Chorus Facebook page for details. Then, another one, Knights of Columbus, on the 8th of April. That's going to be supporting Sacred Hearts youth groups. Again, come on out for that fish fry. Would love to see you there. Every Friday till Easter, you need to be up to Knights of Columbus because all that money is going to go to a youth group, which is kind of exciting. Hey, the Wisconsin PTA, the 111th annual meeting and convention is going to be held at Cardinal Heights Middle School, and this day-long event includes keynote speakers, workshops, exhibitors, and more beginning at 8 a.m. on Saturday, April 9th. See Cardinal Heights Upper Middle School Facebook page for more details. Now, I got a couple more things for you. Sun Prairie Community Schools, there's a logo design contest. It's going to be in your, the deadline is April 2nd. Email your submissions as a ping file to the sunprairiecommunityschools.org. If you submit multiple logos, each logo must have a separate page or a PNG file. Each page should be labeled with your name and email. Sun Prairie Community Schools is celebrating its 10th year anniversary. The planning committee is looking for a depiction of what that means incorporated into their existing logo. So if you want to do that, do it. Also, we got baseball, we got softball. They're starting now. So the state I can't even talk, Craig. The defending state champions have their first game on March 29th at Wanakee, 4:30. Hope it's dry enough for that. And their first home game will be April 5th versus La Follette. Girls softball, they're back from Florida, and I think they're undefeated. First game is March 31st at Verona, 5 p.m. First home game, April 5th at 5 p.m. against Madison East. I don't know which one I would go to.
Man,
Boys, I don't know if I want to go to boys or girls.
And that forecast is looking, that's going to be some interesting games if the forecast holds out.
I know, it's like you got to wear mucklucks.
Right.
Or something like that. Hey, that voice you hear is the greatest trainer. He's the greatest nutritionalist, mentor, father, husband, and that's Kraig Kuchenbecker from Prairie Atheletic Club.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Man, you're here for a purpose.
Time. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to tell everybody this. This man has done amazing things for me, and I'm so appreciative. I was not feeling good. I was not where I wanted to be with my energy, with my body, with size, the whole thing. And I turned to him and I said, man, what can I do? I need your help. Show me what to do. And I'm trying to back this up because we've already done this. We talked about this January, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And so I came to him, and what he did was really cool. First of all, he said, yes, I'm happy to help you. And I've known Kraig for a long time, by the way, guys. He said, yes, I'd love to help you with this. And what I felt was, it wasn't because of his job, it was just because of who he is. And what he did is he created a program that was for guys 40 years and older, and involved the nutrition to go with it. And what we did, and then I said, well, Terry is struggling with this too. She's not in a happy place. And he says, well, okay, let's do it together, and I'll work with you guys together. And yes, we paid for this, but I'll tell you right now, the amount of involvement I've received compared to the money that I've paid is huge. Greatly outweighs that. Don't tell Jenny that, though. Or Pete.
Yeah, the prices will end up having to go up.
Right, exactly. That's okay. I'll pay it again. But the benefit that we've received from Kraig is just priceless, man. Thank you so much.
Of course. It's been awesome having you guys. Just having people that are as involved in it, as interested in it as you guys have been, and kind of taking it to heart and running with it. So it's exciting on my end to see that that type of involvement and that type of dedication to it.
It's been something else. I mean, and I also want to say thank you to Prairie Athletic Club. I mean, because they're allowing you the tools to put all this stuff together, and you're head of the training program, right?
Correct.
And so, but he put this thing together so fast. We started with 6 guys or 7.
I think we started with 3.
We did,
right?
but didn't we go up to like?
Then we went to like 6, yeah.
And then we back down to 4.
Right.
5. Then we went to 4. Now we're at 5.
Right.
And this group's going to continue and do it again.
Right.
It's priceless.
Yeah.
And I love that. And this group of guys. And I'm going to tell you this, folks, right now. I know you're out there because you're like me. You're thinking, I'm just going to go get a bike or an exercise thing or a Gavitza you just seen on TV or on social media, and you go and buy it, and then it sits down in your basement and you don't use it. And that's something I would do. It really is. I don't have any of those things, but what I needed was accountability. And the accountability was twofold, Kraig. It was you, but also my group of guys.
Yeah, that camaraderie.
Oh, my God. And if you miss...
They'll razz you a little bit.
They razz you. And so I appreciated that. I mean, and that's priceless. So, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, If you want to be in a different place with your nutrition or your health, the way your body looks, you want to change any of that, it's okay to do it in a group. And to be honest with you, it's pretty cool. You get to meet great people, and you get that accountability part. And you create that.
Yeah, I love the community aspect of all of that, bringing like-minded people together, and you're there for a common goal. So you have lots of different social groups out there, lots of different tribes, lots of different communities throughout our community, and this happens to just be one that the people that are involved are interested in changing their health, their vitality, their energy levels, and they're all doing it together. So they're all in the same boat, so to speak.
What's interesting, and I said this at the beginning of my show this morning when I was introducing that you're going to be here, that there's a slanted for sit-ups, slant board or whatever you call it. I don't know. That's a good
decline sit-up.
A decline sit-up.
A decline bench.
Yeah. So I struggled. I mean, to do one.
Yeah, your strength has just gone through the roof.
Oh my! I feel so freaking good. I could say that word.
Okay.
But I'm just sharing with you folks what it was like in the beginning. I mean, I'm trying to do a sit-up, and I can't do the sit-up. And here I am. I swam in college. I'm an athlete. I played football. I played baseball. But I swam. I mean, I was so in shape in swimming that I haven't even touched my weights at the limits I was at back in college at 19. At 135 pounds. And so from that journey started that way, and man, I got to tell you, Kraig, I wanted to quit.
Yeah, you did. You actually did tell me. You said this isn't. I can't remember the exact words you used, but it was essentially like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah,
like you were struggling at the beginning to get back into that groove that you were hoping to feel, because you had that groove. I don't know, pre-pandemic, whatever that time frame was, where you had that groove and you had that group and you had that momentum and that energy, and somewhere along the way you'd lost it.
Yeah, that was about 5 years ago.
Was it 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Holy cow, time flies.
Well, it's back when Aaron was there.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a little bit longer than that.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
And so that was the last time, but I knew where to go. Sometimes you have to be humble. Actually, you should be humble all your life, right? And to be able to come to you and say, man, I need help. And what was cool is, man, basically you wrapped your arms around me and said, let's go. Right. I'm going to show you what to do. But you also asked me if I was committed to it.
Yeah. I did. I wanted to make sure, because it's a lot of time and energy on my part too.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't, I get a lot of people that want to change, but
sure.
They may be not ready for it yet.
So let's talk about the process a little bit.
Okay.
Share with everybody. It's not just about, now in my program it's a lot about weights and all that, which is fine. I mean, I think for us guys it's kind of cool.
Right.
But it's not always about weights, and then there's that nutritional side.
Right.
Go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, so more specifically on your end, we did that men's prime. So we're looking for men over the age of 40 that are looking to increase vitality and energy and mood and boost metabolism. So that's really what it is. And after the age of 40, men just naturally start losing testosterone, and they start getting that belly, and they start losing that momentum that they once probably had in their glory days, in their prime. So the idea is to get that back, to bring back that prime. And so that's why a lot of what we do is revolved around the lifting of weights. We need to lift weights in order to drive that testosterone up and to drive that muscle that's going to boost metabolism and energy and all of those things. So that is a big component of it. Probably a bigger component to it, but maybe even a harder one for people to wrap their brain around, is the nutritional side of things.
Right.
It's harder to wrap your brain around because it always keeps changing, right? Like nutrition and what's being thrown out there it's changing. The weights, you probably were doing a lot of that same stuff 40 years ago, right?
Right.
We do some bench presses and
right.
we do some squats and
sure.
we do, but nutrition it's constantly changing, so you got to stay up on it. You got to make sure that you know the science behind what you're doing. So I take care of that part, and I just give you the top layer. Like here's how you should eat for health, long-term health. we don't necessarily focus all the time on the weight loss side of nutrition, but the long-term health benefits and how the nutrition, the food that you're going to be eating is going to impact that long-term.
You know, it's interesting. One of the things you told me to do is stop stepping on a scale.
Yeah.
And so I have not been on a scale since January. And as we were talking before we got on the show, I'm wearing a pair of jeans that are 2 years old that I haven't worn in 2 years. And so it feels great. It feels great. The testosterone side of it is, and we kind of went over that. You went over it real fast.
Right.
That testosterone also leads to other things.
Yeah.
For men, our testosterone starts to drop the older we get, and to build that testosterone, which also is, it gives you that drive at home in the bedroom.
Yeah. So we just encompass the word vitality.
There you go, vitality.
Politically correct term that we can just throw around, and everybody knows what that means. But yeah, so that vitality. I mean, testosterone is the man's primary sex hormone, and that's a big driver for a lot of our physiological success. The way that our metabolism works, the amount of energy that we have first thing in the morning throughout a long day at work, the energy that you can bring to your family at night, that's tied so directly to testosterone. Your moods, how moody you are or not, definitely is very tied to testosterone. So there's a lot of components that are tied so directly to men's testosterone, and it gets a bad rap. Toxic masculinity, it gets a bad rap.
Sure.
But it's extremely important, and if it naturally starts diving down after the age of 40, a lot of those functions suffer because of that. Metabolism drops, energy drops, vitality drops. So we do everything that we can to kind of bring that back up naturally, and that's the key word, is naturally. There's definitely a lot of testosterone replacement therapies out there that there's, the verdict is still out of the long-term effects of that, and definitely the long-term effects of doing it naturally through health and wellness and good nutrition is proven.
Sure. And it's helped.
Right.
Well, for me, the journey, as I said, the journey was hard. It was simple. It wasn't easy.
Right.
And so taking one step at a time, from going from not being able to do a sit-up to having a 10-pound ball to this weekend using a 25-pound weight.
Yeah.
And this weekend, and that was cool, because man, the excitement it gave me that I was able to do that.
You have confidence.
Great.
I mean, that's great for workday performance and just all kinds of stuff. That men, when you classify what does it mean to be successful as a man, lots of people have different markers, but confidence has got to be, top.
Well, I'm sure there are some people out there, and the ladies especially, are going, well, I don't want to be a bodybuilder or whatever. What's this way? Can't I just run every day or ride a bike every day? What's the weights have to do with it? Why weights?
Yeah, so we talked a lot about what the weights have to do with men specifically, and not to completely go around all the women out there that are lifting, but that are listening, but lifting weights even for women, doing a lot of the same things as far as muscular development and strength. That's going to play a big role in metabolism, bone density, and long-term health. So I think a lot of times, and hopefully the common thread that you're hearing me today say is long-term health.
Right.
Not just I don't want to lose 40 pounds for a high school reunion and then gain it all back because I did some crazy diet plan that had me shred the 40 pounds in 3 months and then look good for a reunion and then bring it all back. We want to keep people accountable, but also teach them the skills that are going to take to have that long-term health. Well into their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, we want to make sure that you're healthy, that we're not only living longer, but we're living a higher productive life. and we're able to do the things that we want to do into retirement years. We want to play golf. We want activities of daily living to be healthy and not just what the scale says.
Sure. It's also a lifestyle change too. I mean, you're so set in the patterns that you're in right now that it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's like putting on a new pair of shoes. You got to break them in time and over time. And I will tell you that our classes are at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's fine. I get up 4:30 or 5 every day anyway. And for some that's a challenge, but that's okay. I mean, you've got to take one challenge at a time to get there. And then coming through the process, yes, I now have to go exercise. I have to work out with a group of guys I don't know. I happen to know a couple of them, but that was great. And then I have to do this food thing, which for me is a turnoff because I'm not into food. And when I say I'm not into food, I have never missed a meal. And my body showed it. I'm on a seafood diet most of the time. See food, I eat it. Mm-hmm. There's not one food that I don't like. I mean, that's a problem. I eat everything. Well, yams, I'm not really fond of yams. No, it looks like the baby food you have at home, but yeah. But I'll eat them. Thanksgiving, if somebody serves yams, I will eat it because I don't want to be disrespectful. I know. But learning what to eat and how to combine it and the digestive process, how long it takes, and what you do by eating this and that, it's overwhelming for me. Right. And I'm very blessed to have a partner that is into that. And I'm going to tell you right now that
she did great.
Oh, she's the other success part of this for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I had 2 coaches. I had you, and then I lived with one. And I've never seen somebody sit and read recipe books. I'm like, how do you read a recipe book? I said, can you actually see it? She goes, oh, I can see the meal. She says, I can almost taste it. That blew me away. I'm like, really?
Yeah. And then she'd send me the recipes, and I'd be like, yeah, let's tweak a few things. Like, let's make sure that the produce that you're adding is organic. It's just a better form of quality. We'll bring the quality of that food up a little bit. And there are a few things in there that we might want to tweak just to make it a little healthier. And
sure.
Other than that, thumbs up. Go for it.
Well, you've got me reading labels.
Yeah.
This drink that we're having, that green drink, Go Green or whatever it's called, I looked around on the back and said it was like 7 or 8 grams of sugar. And I'm going up to you and going, but it's got sugar. And you're like, that's the apple. Yeah. That's okay. I'm like, well, wait a minute. But it's sugar. And I'm freaking out over this thing. And you're like, that's okay. And you're just very nonchalant. That's okay. That's good sugar.
Right. Yeah, that apple in there, and that's what gives it its taste too. It's It kind of cuts a little bit of that veggie. Veggie taste.
Well, I've done the carrot and all that. I've done the juices and all that.
Right.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, that woody.
Right. Yeah. So what we're talking about is we're doing the nutritional side of it, and it's so important. But what you get when you're working with Kraig is that nutritional side. He will work with you on this. He will help guide you through that process, so you're not alone in this. And
I did it with you.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Well, we'll get to the detox in a minute. Okay. But the
whole process. Yeah. Even in January.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I've been off Jif peanut butter for like 3 weeks now, I think. When did Lent start? I can't remember when Lent started. I give it up for Lent.
Did you?
It's coming back.
Peanut butter?
I can't wait for the day to come back. In moderation. Yeah.
Well, what if I just changed it to a healthier peanut butter?
Oh, I don't know. I'll try it.
We'll try it.
I'll try it. I'll stay in curiosity.
Okay.
Right? So going to the nutritional side for me, like I said, was very difficult. And but you, man, the support that you've given. So here's the thing, folks. If a guy that's out there, ladies, and tell your guys about this. There is a program for guys over 40.
Men's Prime.
Men's Prime, and we're going to start up again when? April 1st?
Yeah, April 1st.
April 1st, next week?
That's a Friday, so yeah.
So we'll start that next week. So it'd be the 3rd, 4th, 5th. Be the 5th. And if you got a guy that or you're a guy that wants to do this, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm an example of how successful it is. And we've got some other guys that are there also. And it's all shapes and sizes.
And ages.
And ages, yes.
You know,
Am I the oldest?
Over 40, but you know, you had some 50s and how old are you?
I'm 60.
60.
And John is probably 60 or
probably
60. And so we got all ages, we got all shapes, and it's fun, to be honest. All walks of life. We joke, we laugh, we cheer each other on, we support each other, and so it's just it's a good time. And if you want to be a part of it, reach out to Prairie Athletic Club and to Kraig and let him know this. Or if your husband, you want your husband to get off the couch, this is a great way. And trust me, we will support him as a group. It is a challenge, but it's your own challenge. Now, are we doing weights, and are there a lot of weights that we're lifting? No. It depends on the person that's lifting it. It's set up in a group setting, but it's to your level, and as you progress with the group.
Right.
We're all different. I mean, my goal is to be bench pressing 200 pounds 4 times. Well, Aaron is what's he benching?
Well, he's repping out at 245.
Yeah, 245 pounds.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah, like it's nothing, right? And so, I mean, I follow him sometimes, and I look at that and go, man, I'd love to be able to do that. But if I could get to 200, that's a good number. But that's just my personal goal.
Right.
But the key is to do the exercises, do a good technique, take your time, and show up.
Yeah.
And just go through.
That's over half the battle. The cliche of that's half the battle. It's got to be over half the battle. Like, you know, getting up and getting into that routine. And once they do, then it's a different story.
Yeah.
Once they hit that momentum and hit a couple wins under the belt, then it's a different story. But getting that feeling of now I'm excited about it. And
Sure.
Maybe that's exactly what you said. Like, I'm not excited about this yet.
Right.
I'm not like.
No, I was ready to quit.
Yeah.
I was done.
And
I was like, I can't do this. This is ridiculous. This hurts.
Right.
I was in pain.
Yeah.
And I was more disappointed in myself, not you, but disappointed in me because I wasn't able to do the things that I've done in my life.
Right.
And I guess maybe it's part of being 60 and I think I'm 19.
Right.
But to know that at 19 that I was bench pressing 225. You know, doing dips with a 50-pound weight between my legs and being able to do 20 of them.
Really?
I watched a pegboard thing on Facebook the other day, and this guy doing pegboards. Well, I remember in high school, I won that.
Really?
Oh my God! Going up, I had to go up against a wrestler, just strong as an ox, and yeah. So maybe it's my age fighting with me a little bit on it, but so recently, what we did. I said to Kraig, I said, man, I feel bloated, I feel gassy, all this stuff. I said, something's wrong. And Terry felt the same way. And, but I want to tell you this. She worked out twice yesterday.
Did she?
Oh, man, she went and did some kind of yoga yesterday morning, and then she went back and did something else again.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
So she's got momentum now.
Oh, yeah, she works out every day.
Nice.
Bill is 3 times a week.
Okay.
Okay, all right. But so what we did was, so I'm sharing this information with Kraig, and he says, well, we need to do a detox. I'm like, we need to do a what? He says, we need to do a detox. And so explain that.
Yeah, so detox / digestive reset. I mean, detox just sounds better, so we go with that. And it's intended to kind of kill a couple birds with one stone. One, we really want to reset our digestive system. Our digestive system is this incredible system that we have in our body that really does get gunked up quite a bit with this standard American diet. We eat the highly processed foods, the high sugars. We eat a lot of stuff that really does a lot of bad stuff to this digestive system. That's a very fragile ecosystem, if you want to think of it that way.
Sure.
To kind of simplify it, it's this ecosystem that has all of these microbiomes, millions of them. And you have the good stuff competing for a place at the table, and you have the bad stuff competing for a place at the table. And if we gunk it up with a bunch of the preservatives and pesticides and sugar, and all of these different things that kind of disrupt that flow of that that ecosystem, the good guys tend to win, or the bad guys tend to win. So one of the things that we needed to do was reset that, like reset it so that the good bacteria have an environment to flourish in. And we called it a detox as well because at the same time we were also trying to flush out other digestive systems like our liver. So again, that tends to get gunked up with the sugar that we eat, the alcohol, all of the different toxins that we take and ingest in our body. So the idea was reset the digestive system, detoxify the liver, and get it all working right, and reset it so that the good guys, the good bacteria, have a place and a home, and they can do their job as we reintroduce some of the foods back into our diet.
Well, so tell them what it's made up of. How do you detox? How do you do this?
Well, there's lots of them out there. So it just happened to be one that had worked successfully for me. And the premise of it is a lot of plant-based foods. Mm-hmm. So a lot of high-quality plant-based foods. So we're eating organic green beans and
beets and onions, yep. And you already said green beans.
So basically, the colors of the rainbow with a high emphasis on the green stuff. There was a high emphasis on the green stuff, but it's a plant-based diet for the most part, or a plant-based program for the most part. And some foods in there that are intended to have a purpose with the detox. So the grapefruit in the morning and at night. That soup that we made that was a lot of like your turmeric and your ginger and your seaweed and things like that. Those are all intended to be a very flushing, a very detoxifying kind of soup. That all of that is easy on the digestive system. We eat mostly cooked vegetables. It's easier for your digestive system to handle, process, and get rid of. So we kind of eliminated a lot of the stuff that tends to be inflammatory as well.
Sure.
So not to say that it's inflammatory for everybody, and I'm not saying that you should always cut out things, but like eggs tend to be inflammatory for a lot of people. Legumes, which are things like peanuts and peanut butter, and I know.
I love peanuts.
I know.
What do you mean by inflammatory?
So when we eat it, our body responds negative. So we're talking about our digestive system. We eat it. Our digestive system is, whether it's because it is an actual inflammatory response. So some people that have a nut allergy.
Okay.
Some people that are lactose intolerant.
Sure.
Some people that have celiac disease.
Okay.
Those people, no matter what I shouldn't say no matter. You got to be careful with the words that you say. But a lot of times, no matter what they do with the digestive system, they're always going to have those allergies, and they're always going to have an inflammatory response from them. But a lot of times, even though we don't have this big inflammatory response, we drink milk and we clear a room. That's a big inflammatory response. Sometimes we have smaller ones on the underneath because our digestive system isn't working so great.
Sure.
So we eat something and the bad bacteria is overtaking the good. We don't digest it very well, and our body leaks proteins into the blood, and our body senses that there's foreign invaders. So foreign invaders, we cut our arm, there's dirt in there, our body sends a response to clean it up.
Sure.
So same type of thing. Our body is sensing that there's these foreign invaders that our digestive system isn't handling, and it sends this inflammatory response. So sore joints, sore muscles all the time, fatigue, those are all bloating, gas. All of the things that you were telling me you were experiencing are definitely signs that your inflammatory system from the foods that you were eating, probably, I mean, it could have been from stress from work and all of the other stuff, but typically it's a combination of all of that, that the foods that you were eating were sending this inflammatory response for all of this joint pain and bloating and digestive issues that you were having. So that was a key to me, like, all right, let's just reset that digestive system, clean out that liver, and see what happens if we start reintroducing some of these foods again.
And folks, you don't hear this from other organizations.
Right.
You hear this at Prairie Athletic Club.
Yeah.
You've got the expert sitting right here in this studio that's available to you. That's there. And then he has the tools around him to really support what you're looking for. It's not about a piece of machinery. It's not about a dumbbell. It's how you put it all together to really make it work. And Kraig has got that for you. And I'm kind of like promoting this, touting this, because I feel freaking great. I've got more energy right now than I ever had. I wake up and I'm ready to go. And
at 4:30, man.
At 4:30. Well, and I go to bed at 9 or 9:30.
Yeah.
I mean, but so I'm sleeping.
Yeah, you still got to get the recovery in.
Right. I'm still sleeping. I mean, I'm sleeping 7 hours.
Yeah.
I got to get up and pee once in a while.
Right.
I'm an old guy. I got to get up and do that. But this has just been an incredible journey, and one that I don't want it to end. I want to keep going, and I am going to keep going.
You would have never said that 2 months ago.
No. I said you're freaking.
You were counting the days to.
I
You
was.
were going to go through the motions,
Yep.
get your 3 months, and,
Yep.
and be done.
I'm done.
Now that switch.
Yep.
Do you remember when that switch flipped?
November.
Was it?
Yep. Oh, you mean about liking it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say you weren't even in it in November.
No,
November was the decision that you made. Like enough's enough.
Yeah, and then COVID hit.
Yeah. COVID hit you.
Oh, 3 weeks worth of COVID. Oh my gosh. But I would say probably about halfway through the second month, about maybe the start of the second
So it
month.
wasn't like a particular like day
No.
where you were just like, that was a great workout. Like now I'm in it. But it was just more or less like a gradual flow to liking it.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Enjoying it and having that momentum. Okay.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Now I look forward to going. I jump in other classes,
Yeah.
And then when I get there, I'm like, this isn't like Kraig does. They're your people. They're just not doing it right. But it feels great. Now this detox, this reset, as he's calling it, let me give you an idea what it is. So you get up in the morning, you have a half of a grapefruit, you'll have a cup of water, you'll drink that, then you can go to a tea, which is a dandelion tea, and it's great. I like it. I'm drinking it right now. I'm going to keep drinking it. I don't know if it'll help me or hurt me, but I like the taste of it. And I mix it with other teas too. And then you have your detox soup.
Yep.
And we call it a detox soup. And it's good. I like it. If it's not, put a little bit of sea salt
Yep.
into that. A little bit of pepper is okay.
Yep.
And so you can change that taste. And I like it. I like it. Terry makes it different than you do. She minces all of her
vegetables real small.
real small.
Probably easier on the digestive system. She might have something going on there with that.
Well, you might have learned
Smaller
something.
the vegetables.
But then your quinoa is different than hers.
Right.
But then I learned the secret.
Yeah.
And when I told her that, she's like, "You gotta be kidding me! That's cheating."
I cheated a little bit. But otherwise, you're eating a lot of quinoa, so you gotta cheat just a little bit to spice it up a little bit.
And so that's part of it. So you can have your vegetables, your steamed vegetables, and it's on a cup of quinoa. And so you've got this regiment that you're following. And I'm going to tell you, you're eating a lot of food all through the day. And then you have your meal at night, which is going to be
Baked vegetables and quinoa.
or roasted vegetables.
Yeah,
We
baked,
roasted them.
roasted, yeah.
Yep. And those are delicious.
Yeah.
I love that. And then afterwards, you have a grapefruit, and you're done. Water is an important part of
Water's
this.
huge.
Yep.
We had some good fat in there, so you got your avocados,
Yep.
your olive oil with the roasted vegetables.
The avocados are awesome too. I've never eaten avocados the way I'm doing right now.
Right.
So now I'll cut them and I'll take a spoon and
Do you?
that's my snack. Not bad.
Yeah.
I thought
I like to mix them right on the vegetables.
Oh yeah, we did that too. Yep. Well, last night we had the soup last night for dinner, and we put avocados in the soup.
There you go.
But it was good. So what I'm saying to you is that this is doable. And if it's doable for me, it's doable for anybody. Now, I had help. I had this guy, and then I had Terry. But Kraig was there first. And it's confusing. For a guy that doesn't know what quinoa is, I mean, I'm like, what is it? What's the difference between quinoa and rice or brown rice, stuff like that? I had no idea. So you can't do it alone. Don't try to do it alone. It's not a piece of equipment, and it's not the diet you see off of TikTok. It's sitting down with somebody that really gets to know you and can put it all together in a package. And that's priceless, Kraig. And I can't say enough thank yous to you.
I'm proud of what you've done and how far you've come, and it's been awesome having you part of the group, and thank you for coming to me, whatever that's been, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever that's been now, and trusting in what I had for your health. So it's been awesome having you.
We've been doing it together.
Yeah.
I love it. And he, as he knows, I added another component to this. Well, it's a part of my component on Thursdays that I get poked, not criticized, made fun, jazzed a little bit, because I leave about 6:45 because my men's group starts at 6:30 on Thursday mornings, and it's like a Bible study and that, but my faith is important to me. I lead with my faith, family, and everything else. And, or the way I say it, faith, family, and business.
Yeah.
Or everything else. So that's a big component of this also.
Yeah.
And you wrap your head around that too. You understand that, which is
cool.
And
it's, you actually, so you talk about how much I've helped you, but something that you said to me, I think it was on Friday maybe, and it like reset my mind as well, because if the listeners were around a few months ago when we talked about my family and how it's grown and expanded very, very rapidly, like instant family, with a 4, a 3, and a now a 9-month-old, you don't know, and especially when it happens that quickly. So you have these 2 foster girls, and then you have a new baby on top of it. You don't know exactly how to put it all together. And there really isn't a coach for that either. I mean, there isn't a coach that I can go to and be like, all right, how do I do this? I mean, it's constantly learning on the fly. And so lots of things get put on the back burner. Faith was one of them, because, how do I get to church? Mm-hmm. Now, am I really going to, if the kids are sleeping, am I really going to want to wake up a kid one of these kids in order to get them to church on time? And do I really want to get them all dressed? And I do it all week long. Do I want to wake them up and get them dressed and get them there? And so some of that stuff starts going on the back burner.
Right.
And it takes somebody to kind of point out, like, hey, faith, family. I say faith, family, fitness.
Okay.
But fitness is not only just myself, but it's also my job.
Sure.
So it kind of fits in. It's the 3 F's. So
yeah.
I
like that.
But sometimes things go on the back burner, and you forget about other aspects of it because you're so enamored in one thing. It's so in your face that it takes a reminder to kind of come back to reevaluate and refocus on what's important in life.
Well, we need that. Our lives go by so fast.
Right.
I mean, you blink and the girls will be getting married, Hey, by the way, folks, if you're listening and watching out there, you want to get pregnant? Adopt a couple of kids, and then you'll get pregnant, So how do you, here's a question for you and Robin, I guess, too, is that how do you incorporate your nutrition with your family with 3 young kids?
Yeah.
How do you do that? I mean, don't you take them to McDonald's?
They actually, the funny thing is they have no idea what McDonald's is.
Oh my gosh.
Not to say that I have never woken up on a Saturday or Sunday and been like, and they want pancakes, instead of me getting out the almond flour and the eggs and making the pancakes from scratch. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run through McDonald's and get them some pancakes this morning. So not to say that I've never done that, but they don't know what McDonald's is. And I remember my mom used to say that as a little kid, and you have the big bench seats in the car, and I stood behind her shoulder.
Oh yeah.
I could pick out like McDonald's and Pizza Hut, and so I knew all of those like fast food restaurants when I was probably their age or younger. But yeah, they don't know any of the. They know Buck and Honey's.
Oh, sure.
They really like Buck and Honey's, so they know that. But they don't know McDonald's. They know sometimes if I go get pancakes that it's a different kind of pancake, but they don't know where it's from. But yeah, I mean, we try to do the best that we can. We still get them the organic produce. We want to make sure that they're getting the vegetables and the highest quality meats and all of that stuff. Not to say that they don't get a chicken nugget every now and again, or a little personal pan pizza every now and again. They still get that because they're still kids. And the funny thing is my wife and I, we went to see her sister in Italy several years ago, and her sister was feeding her kids chicken nuggets every meal. They were eating chicken nuggets every meal, and we looked at each other and we're like, if we ever have kids, we're not feeding them chicken nuggets.
And now you are?
And hot dogs and none of that stuff. We're never going to do that. And then you end up getting kids, and you're like, you know what? Here's some chicken nuggets. You throw them in the air fryer for 6 minutes. Here's your chicken nuggets. So they do get that, but we try to balance it out as best we can. Cruz, our 9-month-old, actually has the biggest grocery bill in the house.
What?
So yeah, he gets this European imported organic goat milk formula.
Why?
It costs like $32 for a small canister that he goes through in like 2.5 days.
Okay, I have to ask why, and everybody else is
Because he's
saying,
spoiled. You know, he wanted, I mean, if you think about it.
Goat milk?
Yeah, well, goat milk, it was, he wasn't responding very well to the formula that was formulated out of cow's milk, so we tried the goat milk. But if you look at formula out there, the American standard of formula is pretty bad. I mean, if you look at the first 3 ingredients, you're going to see a lot of corn solids, corn syrup, maltodextrin. You're going to see a lot of that stuff that's just fillers. I mean, it makes them feel full, but it has zero nutritional value. And in our standard, in American standard, it's genetically modified, it's sprayed with a bunch of pesticides, and then it's pulled out of the field and put into baby formula. So we just, you know, he's a spoiled baby, and we want him to have the best quality. I mean, he only gets one. I mean, now he's eating some vegetable puree and stuff like that.
I was going to say, what's he eating?
So I did a garden last year, so it's all my own vegetables that I grew myself, and the girls helped me grow it, and we cooked it up and made it into puree and froze it, and so now he's eating last year's garden.
Where is your garden?
Well, it was out on my grandparents' farm, out by the
Okay, so that's where you do it? Okay. Yeah. Wow. So you're actually making his food.
Yeah.
It's not out of a jar. It's not the Gerber's stuff.
No.
Wow. So the girls are being taught. Your kids are actually being taught. This is their way of life.
Yeah. The funny thing is they'll go to daycare, go to their daycare, and they'll be like, Miss Jamie, that's not protein. Daddy says I have to eat my protein first, and that's not protein. So they know what a good protein source is, and what's not.
Yeah.
And they know that they can't have their I think sometimes they don't really get cookies in daycare, but sometimes kids will bring they're not part of their nutritional curriculum. It's actually a daycare that tries to lower the sugar content. But if there's a birthday in the class, the birthday kid will bring usually some sort of food like that.
Is that okay?
Well, yeah, they're still kids every once in a while, and even for adults too. I mean, we still have to have our social time and go to birthdays and have birthday cake and stuff that makes us humans and as social animals and tribes and part of tribes and stuff. But they know that they can't have their cupcake until they eat their protein first. So they know that.
Okay. All right. Wow. So we've been talking about what we're going to have for dinner tonight.
Yeah. What are you going to have?
We're going to have pizza.
Are you?
Yes. On cauliflower crust.
Okay.
A cauliflower pizza that you can get from Costco.
Sure.
It's all vegetables and there's no meat or anything. I think I could probably do a vegetarian diet.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't miss a steak. I like chicken. I like fish and that. But we did our weekly shopping yesterday. We bought salmon, and so that's one of our protein. And there's a tilapia. I know you don't like tilapia.
No, I like tilapia.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But it's got a pepper crust on it already. And then we bought everything else. All of our vegetables, all organic too, by the way.
So you are kind of gravitating towards that Mediterranean
Yes,
stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what she's decided.
Yeah.
For us.
And
I said,
healthy,
yes, dear.
Yeah, that's a great, very healthy way to and you're getting all your essential amino acids, your complete proteins, all of that good stuff. Your good fats. I mean, that's the big thing that's the big plus that the Mediterranean has is you're eating a lot of foods that are high antioxidant, especially if you're eating them organic and they're locally grown and sourced and all of that stuff. And then you're eating your very good fats too. So your wild caught salmons and your avocados and your olives and your olive oils and stuff like that. So great. It's a great great plan to go with for sure.
I was taught a long time ago, probably 20 years ago. I had a naturopath that I was working with. She was a friend of ours. Don Becker was her husband, and Renee Wellhouse was her name. She died a bunch of years ago in a car accident.
Wow.
Yeah. She went to reach for her cell phone and looked up and hit the back end of a semi and basically just took the top of her Cadillac off.
Wow.
Teach you to leave that frickin' cell phone alone. And I should talk. But what she taught me was food combining. And that, to give an idea, eat a steak, it'll take 12 hours to digest that steak. So if you eat a steak at, say, 6 o'clock at night, put a baked potato on there, there's another 4 hours, so now you're at 16 hours. And then as you add your different items in it that you're eating, it adds that time for digestive. She says, so what happens is you go around to 6 o'clock in the morning, then you get up, and then you have bacon and eggs. So now you're at that time frame, and now you've got to add more time on top of that time. And the reason she was giving me that example is she's saying that you have to give your digestive system a break. It's constantly running, and that's what gives you fatigue. And I'm like, wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
She says you'll have people that'll eat at 6, then they'll eat at 9 or 10, and then they'll go to bed. And she says just your system just keeps running, and your system wants to heal itself. Your system wants to work at capacity. It wants to do everything it's supposed to do, but we get in the way, and the way we get in the way is we put stuff in our mouth.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You put the wrong thing in there, and then also the different sugars in that, and what it does to insulin. And your insulin levels, and then when that insulin drops, you get hungry again, and so now you're wanting that sugar again. Jif peanut butter,
Right.
and so I'll look at the organic peanut butter.
Okay.
Keep all that oil on top and keep mixing it up and stuff.
Well, the Costco one, you mix it up once and leave it in your fridge, and it actually doesn't get super hard either.
Oh no?
So yeah, you mix it up one time, leave it in your fridge, and it still stays spreadable.
Peanut butter in the fridge?
Well, so you don't separate your oil all the time.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow. The fridge. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that was kind of, so she alluded to a point that what we did was
Yeah.
we allowed our digestive system to just have a break. Like,
Sure.
If we're trying to digest steak and chicken and eggs and bacon and all of these things that we're trying to digest all the time, our digestive system just needed a break. And
Sure.
That's kind of what we gave it. So we call it a detox, we call it a reset, call it a break, whatever you want to call it, but it really allows our digestive system to heal up and get back to running at full capacity again.
Okay. So how can people learn more about this, and how can they contact you?
So I would say that we have a website, prairieathletic.com. It can be a little bit tricky to navigate if you don't know where you're going. So I'll give you my personal cell phone, because that's how passionate I feel about this. So personal cell phone is 608-220-4648. You can call, text, and then email, a little tricky, k.kuchenbecker. Here's where the tricky part gets in, is spelling Kuchenbecker. KUCHENBECKER at prairieathletic.com. So k.kuchenbecker at prairieathletic.com.
Or if you just want to call Prairie Athletic Club, ask for Kraig.
That you can do that too.
And tell them that when you talk to them, tell them that you heard about it right here. And I'm telling you, folks, you need somebody in your corner to do this. And it doesn't matter who you are. You know, even professional athletes out there, whether you're a golfer, football player, it doesn't matter what it is, they have the coaches in their corner. And a lot of times there's a nutritionalist. If you ask Tiger Woods about his, he'll tell you he has a nutritionalist. And that person is the chef that makes all of his meals on the road and stuff.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to just, I mean, you kind of do have a chef.
Well,
You have a live-in chef.
Oh, she's awesome. Don't tell her that. She is a chef, though. She's something else. But it is that exciting, and it is that satisfying. And I can't wait. We're going to go another 3 months, and then we'll report back again. I do have pictures that I took before And so then we'll show the progression of that, and I may let him use them. I realize I'm standing in not boxer shorts, gym shorts with black socks on. It looks kind of.
We can crop the black socks.
We can?
Yeah.
We can crop those? Okay, all right. I did talk to Jim Beach. I said, you got to get back into Prairie.
Oh, you ran into him?
Yeah.
I run into him every once in a while in just random places. So Jim Beach, if you're listening, get your butt back in here. Let's go.
Well, and any guys out there, how much is your health worth? Is it? And here's the. You talk about those gym memberships in January. They all go up. Everybody's going to go to the gym and get in health and get in shape. We only got about 3 minutes here. 2 minutes. Get in a program at the club. Join Prairie Atheletic Club and get into one of these groups. They're not threatening. They are invitable. And his coaching staff that he has, his trainers that he has are absolutely amazing. They're fun to work with, and they will help guide you. And then you've got the Mac Daddy sitting right across the studio here, and Kraig Kuchenbecker. He's the guy, and he can help you. So you're not alone in your journey. So, Sun Prairie, I hope you had a great day. Kraig, thanks for doing this.
Of course.
And are you doing your shows anymore?
I should get back to that. Refocus again.
What was the name of the show? Coach's Corner.
Yeah, Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner. I'd love for you to do that again. I'll help you.
Okay.
I'll help you with it. Sun Prairie, we are out of here. Have a great Monday. Catch me on Wednesday. We're going to start talking about affordable housing. April is affordable housing month. Going to talk about some different trends that we're seeing. It's going to be kind of exciting and a lot of fun. So until then, we will catch you next Monday right back here for Good Morning Sun Prairie. Thanks, Sun Prairie. Thanks for listening. Kraig, thanks for being here.
All right, thank you.
What was that, an hour?
Yeah.
Gosh, it goes so fast. So weird to me.
I've had people tell me that. Now, why can't I hear that? Automation's on.
Well, you got a little fridge.
Yeah. Why can't we hear this?
The views expressed
Oh,
on this
there it goes.
program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on
Cool.
this program and do not
I'll give you a copy of that too, buddy.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Thanks.
I mean that. Thank you for everything.
Of course.
Hey, Rachel, he came looking for you.
You came looking for me. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, good, good. Feel right in?
Yeah.
Good.
I wanted to say thanks to him. This thing I've been doing. I mean, well, you and I used to work out together.
So are you and Harry both together or just you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Different classes. She's doing total body makeover. And I'm doing wrist but she's there every single day. So you go to but she does all the different kinds of yoga. She really enjoys that. And total body.
Nice to be back.
We were a little early on it just because, when they changed that last mandate, everybody in the room is, so basically like, hey, we're going to go this way.
Hey, Facebook, see you guys. Thanks.